You remember that show, Sale of the Century, Nicholas Parsons? They always gave a car away. This is it. We're going to budget cuts. We're going to do a quiz show from Anglia or Norwich and Top Gear. We've had to retire the old one.
A brand new, reasonably priced car. The old Kia C''D has been retired, probably sold to a little old lady as an ex-demonstrator. Very low mileage.
This is a big moment, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's a few reasons for that. The C''D is now not on sale anymore. As you may have seen in the last series, there is a new one. So the old one's defunct. And the other problem is, Graham Norton, Jonathan Ross can have guests on and have them back whenever they like.
I'm hugely strong.
His nipples are wet.
Why am I still out of breath?
Because you're an old bloke who drives everywhere when he could walk.
But if a guest has set a time in a car, we can't have them back once they've set a time. So logic says, what kind of show are we if we're saying to Cameron Diaz or Tom Cruise, no, you can't come back on? I'm not revealing anything because it might get on WikiLeaks, and then there might be more riots in Brazil and all sorts of stuff. That bloke who works for the CIA, who stole the man with the CIA across with, he might find out.
We decided to launch it with a star-studded party. We have invited literally everybody from the world of celebrity. President Carter, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Morris Stewart. I tell you who I have invited just for you, because I know you like her, Joss Stone.
Really?
Yes. You'll be rubbish with her.
You don't want people knowing, because the world is unstable enough at the moment. Economies are in a bad place. They can't cope with knowing what the new reasonably priced car is just yet. My favourite film is in show one, which is the New Zealand race. I was saying in the mag, I compare each series to like an album, and the films are like album tracks. And I said that there's at least one film stroke track that would go on our greatest hits album.
We are having a race up the side of New Zealand from here to here.
All power, hire car! Oh!
This is what I get to eat on the boat. A melted bar of chocolate and a bag of nuts, and you'll have to beat that word.
And I think that's a New Zealand race because it's so epic to look at, but the races are the hardest things to regenerate, they're the hardest things to refresh, and we have done with that one because there are so many bits, there are so many little storylines happening. It looks gorgeous, and the car is a real surprise, and it just, they've all brought their A game as well, Jeremy and James. James by default, because he's, nothing he can do but suffer.
Whoa, that's a biggie.
Jeremy's really on it. So that is one of my favourites already. The trouble is it'll be in show one.
Gentlemen, the time has come.
So I really don't know. I wouldn't watch any more after that, actually. I would watch, what's on now? Is Midwife on? Whatever's on, whatever drama about a village in the 60s is on BBC One, I'd watch that instead. We took over the Mall, yeah. We put a rather special display on there, which looks astonishing. You'll see F1 cars in there, you'll see Aston Martins, you'll see Bentleys, you'll see a smorgasbord of metal and real lump in the throat stuff. It's nothing exploded or fell over. The Queen didn't come out and tell us off in a nightie, that sort of thing. But we started at midnight putting the cars in. We were done by 5 in the morning. All of Britain's delivery men from all over Britain arrived with the cars. And they're like, a lot of them from these little sheds in the Midlands and stuff. I thought we'd be getting calls from them going, I've just gone past Big Ben 5 times, but they all turned up like clockwork. Then they got the roll-ups out and had a tab when they'd arrived. And I was proud to be British, And so that's the climax of the series. So watch the first series and then watch the last one. You don't have to watch stuff in the middle, is my advice.
I think the most important thing in this new series is our new reasonably priced car. The old Kia has been retired, it's gone out to stud, it's going to be allowed to mate with other Kias. And so we've got a new one, which means of course a new lap board, and that meant that we had a little bit of a garden party down here for various celebrities.
But that's all you need, isn't it?
For an
Brake and
automatic,
accelerate.
yeah. It's manual. We'll improvise.
Brad Pitt, Angelina, President Carter, they didn't come. But Rachel Riley off Countdown did. Hammond!
What?
Morning.
Oh, I'm going to sit over there. Eh?
How are you this morning?
That'd be very well. How are you? Why are you being nice?
What?
How are you? Why are you being nice?
We were so horrible about you just then.
Yeah, no, we weren't actually.
Good.
And no, actually, this series, it is Spain with supercars. We begin.
Damn, put in laws. They're moving away. I'm not going anywhere.
What I'm saying is, we turn this town into a street circuit.
Yes.
New Zealand are race with us.
This is so catastrophically uncomfortable as a way to travel. Oh, I got... Ow! When you say the wrong sail, where is the other sail?
That's right in front of us.
In that bag?
A vehicle that works when it's flooded. Sorry. We've discovered one of the best cars made in Britain for, well, not made in Britain, we've discovered
A fabulous car.
a fabulous car which is on this Sunday. Sticks here.
Is he all right?
What else have we done?
Well, we've got a new reasonably priced car.
I've done that.
148. Point.
Oh God.
Okay, fair enough. I'm coming home.
We've made Britain great again.
We've made Britain great. I've explained about that. I know what we've done.
Yay!
We try, well, we are more mature, as you can see. We're older and we're wiser. And that's reflected, I think, in the series as a whole.
I, for example, have the V6. Whoa! That's the Triumph Bites.
Oh, look at that.
Certainly, James and I did a thing. You get these soft roaders, crossover vehicles, Honda CR-Vs and Freelanders and so on. These are very popular with caravanners. So James and I, we didn't bother taking him because he's no good with caravans. But we've done a really proper test, like you see in What Car magazine, or
No,
Which.
It is, that we should, I mean, he's not being sarcastic, it is genuine consumer journalism on television.
It starts out that way.
I've seen pictures of the
Okay,
caravans
it starts
after.
at
Shush!
Okay, fine, fair enough. It's
Shush.
very sensible. That must have
Things
been.
went a bit wrong. He's looking good there, looking good. Anyway, it's going to be a cracking new series of Top Gear, and as you can see, we're back and we're getting on well. Hammond is literally the world's worst human being at small talk. It's really easy, Hammond. You just be interested in somebody else. Where do their kids go to school? Where do they live? Series 20, I think, started averagely, built up to a crescendo of goodness in the middle, and then ends in a rather odd way.
It's like a business presentation. Apart from your glasses on upside down, you know that.
I know, very dirty.
It's been good. It's been a ride. What about personal highlights of the series? I've got
Hover van at the bottom of the weir.
It's hover van, but it's going towards the bank when we were all three convinced, and now we die.
James headed off to Top Gear's secret amphibious engineering centre in the Yorkshire town of Penistone. What about a name? We haven't thought of a name.
Bob.
Richard Hammond.
Yes.
Engage hover mode.
Oh, this is it. Right.
We say brace a lot. We say brace often, do we not? And we usually make brace.
You don't mean we weren't going towards the bank, we were going
The
to the back
boats,
of three
yeah.
boats.
And I said brace. brace, meaning like we're gonna die.
Tree! Oh, huge tree! Oh no, we broke the window! For God's sake!
You pillock!
What was your highlight?
Well, yeah, hover van or the bus.
Fire system pressure okay.
Jeez. Ignition system. Here we go. Cock.
Follow his caravan because that's
Oh,
when you
God,
have one of
yes,
your
sorry.
massive
How
laughs.
could I
When
forget?
it's when his lavatory
Running
came
over
out,
my own lavatory.
you drove over.
Look at me! Look at my big steering wheel. Cocking Nora. Running over Jeremy's chemical lavatory, and there were other bits that we couldn't show in that because it just wasn't time, but there was one point where I started off in front, then I went a different way, and then you got in front, and I was quite a long way behind, but I knew something bad was happening when I saw your tin opener on the track in front of me. I thought, how did that get out?
If you go car stuff, no, car stuff would have to be, for me, when you and I got alongside one another on that deserted Spanish motorway. So you were in the Ferrari 458, I was in the McLaren. Tend to think of those two cars as being broadly similar in terms of, you know, they are in terms of price and size and layout and so on. And then we went 3, 2, 1, go, both in third gear, both doing the same speed, or second gear, whatever it was. The Gulf, the performance difference was simply unbelievable.
You just went away.
How much faster the McLaren is.
We've done all right for supercars in this year because we've got the McLaren Pro 458 Spider, Audi R8 B10, Aventador Roadster,
Six-cylinder.
the Fezzer you did.
Oh yes, the F12. That's a lethal thing. It's called the F12. Guests, we had Hugh Jackman on. He was
good.
that properly good guest. Really enjoyed him.
He's bloody annoying, really.
Yeah.
Because he's 6 foot odd, ridiculously good looking, and very funny.
Yeah, I feel the need for speed. There we go. Don't be a pussy. Stay on the. Just stay. I can't believe I'm staying on that full accelerator. Yes, Steve, you'd be proud of me.
No, I think it's just been a good series. Like I say, started slowly, built to a crescendo, and then we tail off in a nod. But I think everyone will be expecting, or would expect, that final film about the British car industry to be us lot fooling around.
Yeah.
It'll be quite a nice surprise to find we didn't.
Anyway, it's been fun, and we'd like to thank you for your continued support.
And we shall be back just as soon as we've made all the films for the next series.
And this time, shall we make them in good time?
Yeah.
We're always late with our homework.
Can I apologise as well? The series, I know it was rather short, but we're getting quite old and we can't stand each other for more than 6 weeks. Well, the whole point of a budget supercar is that it should be understated, right? So here's what we do. You have to drive from here to the other end of the harbour, which is over there, one at a time, and the winner is the one whose car is least photographed.
James, I'm in a yellow metal flake convertible McLaren.
What did I say 6 weeks ago? Was it only watch the first one and the last one, don't bother with the rest? Yeah. I think people actually took that to heart, because there's been a lot of people watching Countryfile. Highlights of the series. I'll be glad to see the back of this series, because it's been a to make. But there have, as I sort of predicted, in adversity, good things often come, and a lot of good things has come. I think the tow cars is a surprise.
Come on!
Oh dear, Driving through Jeremy's caravan. Oh, and your portable lavatory.
That was definitely a highlight, because it was cleverer than the hover van, which was a big comedy caper.
Road engine's not starting.
What? Why is the starter not working?
It's wet.
Why didn't you waterproof it?
Well, I didn't.
Why are we still shouting?
I think Little Gem, Hammond's Sesto Elemento, who knew? You know, it just little things like that pop up and surprise you. Spain was a sight better than I thought it was going to be, because you sort of go 3 cars going around a place that's empty. It's not, it doesn't look great on a piece of A4. However, very comfortable in its own skin and a very good looking film. Then we can do grown-up stuff as well.
This feels a bit special.
There's been a hell of a lot of good stuff.
Let me talk you through the cars we have lined up. This is a Hindustan Ambassador, a taxi in India. This is for a scientific feature, actually, Hammond has done on which taxi from around the world is best.
Guy's getting impatient, that's good. Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that.
Over here we have the new Ferrari F12. I've been driving this. And there's a slightly surprising conclusion to my road test on that, which you shall see. Can't enjoy a Ferrari in Britain? Oh, yes, you can. And then you can drive along quite happily at 20 miles an hour. It's not even especially big. This is a Formula 3 racing car, which is an introduction to an item we're doing on the BAC Mono. That's the stage. Oh, yes, and here is the BAC Mono. I've worked myself!